Assalamu alaikum and welcome back. Okay, so today I was wondering what I should do because today is like my free day, and I was thinking I haven't made a video in a week. Okay, so that's the point. I haven't made a video in a week, and I was like, wow, okay, that's weird. So I'm gonna make a video because I just finished this. Okay, basically I just finished reading the last book I was reading, which was City of Glass, and that means I read the first 3 books of the Mortal Instrument series, and I am excited. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and talk to you guys about these amazing books because they are amazing, and the reason they're well known for it is because they're amazing, and I think they deserve every single thing, every single kind of praise and fame and everything that they get. They just deserve everything because it's such an amazing series. I wish I lived in this world of shadow hunters and everything. I wished I lived in this. I swear to God, I wished I lived. I know there's so much like danger, demons and everything, but I don't care. That's like something amazing, just fighting off demons. How lucky Clary is to get in, like, to finally figure out that she's part of this world. But anyway, you might be like, what the hell is she talking about? I don't know what this book is about, but today I want to explain to you guys what this is about, and I'm going to have a spoiler version and a non-spoiler version. So now I want to talk about this book in a non-spoiler version, but I will tell you when I'm going to talk about this book in detail and what happens in it. So I will tell you guys so that when I get to the spoiler section, so that if you don't want to be spoiled, you can just exit this video. But I'm going to tell you guys what this series is about. Okay, this series is about a girl named Clary. She's a normal New Yorker, like, she lives in New York, and she has a best friend named Simon, and she has a mom and somewhat of a dad named Luke. And what she doesn't know is that she's a shadow hunter. She draws a rune, which is like a shape that the shadow hunters draw on themselves, and what happens is that she starts drawing them because the memory starts coming back from this, because the spell is wearing away. Her mom puts a spell on her through the help of a warlock named Magnus Bane, and she has to go every once in a while to get the spell fixed again because it starts fading away. And she's around 16, and she's like, I think 16, and her memory starts her spell starts fading away, and her memory starts coming back, and she starts drawing these shapes. And when she's walking down the street, she sees in the club's kind of billboard, whatever, the sign comes up, and she's curious about it, so she wants to sneak into the club, and she brings Simon with him. But then she sees Jace, who's the shadow hunter, killing one of the demons, and she screams, and Jace looks at her, and because they're not mundane, which is humans, like normal humans, are not meant to see shadow hunters, so he's curious, and then he follows her around, and that's what happens. And then she starts finding out about her shadow hunting world, and like how she's a shadow hunter and everything like that. And also her mom ends up being kidnapped by Valentine, who is the villain in this book, in the series. And yeah, so she needs to search her mom. That's basically it. I hope you guys kind of got that. It's like all over the place, but the story is just hard to explain. There's just so much going on in this book. It's not just these 3 books in the series. There is also City of Fallen Angels and City of Lost Souls. I have that book over there, but I haven't read it yet because I am reading it like Cassandra Clare has recommended us to read in the publication order. So I wanted to read the second series as well. So I just finished City of Glass, and the publication order is that after City of Glass, she actually published this book, which is The Infernal Devices, and I wanted to read this. So this is the first book of The Infernal Devices, and that's William Herondale, and apparently he's so perfect, says so my friend Vashva. So let's see how perfect he is. Like I just read a bit because I couldn't be asked, because I went out today, if you didn't realize. Like I'm dressed so nice because I had an interview for a college, and yes. But anyway, back to this book. I love this book. So that's the non-spoiler version. Oh, before I end the non-spoiler version of this review kind of thing, or book talking, series talking, whatever, is that if you like, okay, so this is like a world full of monsters, demons. If you don't like that kind of book, maybe this is not for you, but this is such an incredible book. I love it so much. You don't understand. I fell in love with it, and I can't stop reading it. I just can't. Okay, so now comes the spoilery bit. So if you guys are not really interested to be spoiled on this book, and you want to read this book for yourself, then switch off this video, because here comes the spoiler bits of the video. So bye if you're gonna go. But you know, if you're going to continue watching this video, then stay tuned. But anyway, today I'm going to talk about the individual books by itself. So the first book is City of Bones. That's how it starts. This is the first book I think ever written by Cassandra Clare, because she used to write fan fiction, and this is the first ever book. So honestly, I can tell that this is her first experience of writing a book, because if you compare this book to Clockwork Angel, there is such a mass amount of there's a mass amount of difference in the way she writes. So I can see how she's developed as a writer, and honestly, I think I read like a few pages of this book, and I'm already in love with this. I'm actually in love with this. And I'm glad I'm reading this. I really am, and I just love it. And William Herondale looks really buff, like really handsome. So let's see. And he kind of reminds me of Jace at the beginning, but I think my friend says you won't like him at the beginning, like I didn't like Jace. But he's like a really like nice person. Let's see how it goes. But today I'm here to talk about. I'm not talking about the Infernal Devices. I am talking about the City of Bones. Okay, this book is where you get introduced to Clary, to everyone really. It's the first book ever in the series. And in this book, her mom gets kidnapped. She has to find her mother. She ends up finding her mother. But Valentine ends up taking the cup, the mortal cup. Because the mortal instruments, the mortal cup. Okay, I want to discuss this book because I think that characters were so stupid in the first book. How can, like, starting from the beginning where Jace marks Clary, like, what if she wasn't a Shadowhunter? What if she was just like a mundane that had that special power of seeing the Shadowhunters, or she was just a warlock or a werewolf? I don't know. Like, I don't understand why he would do such a stupid thing and mock her without even thinking for a second that she might have died. Jace, she might have died, the love of your life. Because at the end of, like, in the third book, you kind of realize that he went back for her because he loved her or something just happened, like, I don't know, love at first sight or something clicked, and he goes back for her and he mocks her so stupidly, thinking she might not be a mundane, let's just mock her. You could have lost the love of your life there, Jace, so you just did something so stupid. But thank God she is a Shadowhunter. She does kind of she doesn't suffer from the wound. And yeah, so this is where she gets introduced to the Shadowhunter. She goes to the New York Institute, and Hodge explains to Clary, you know, what she's all about and what this is all about, and who the people that the person that Jace killed was in the pandemonium. So anyway, yeah, so then you realize that Hodge is a bad man or whatever. He's like, he's partners with Valentine, and actually I never expected that at all. I did not expect that to happen at all, because I thought Hodge was a really nice person for Clary. At the beginning, he kind of kept her involved in that world because they were like fighting, and she was like, what's going on, and Hodge was there to explain. And I was like, you know what, Hodge seems like a nice guy, for like he seems nice. And I thought like he learned from his lesson that he's being punished, and he learned from his lesson that he won't ever go back to that area again. But I was wrong. Clearly, Hodge backstabbed not just Clary and the others, but he backstabbed us because he led us on to thinking he was so nice, but he wasn't in this book. But he was okay in the third book, because then he dies. But anyway, that's the first book. I think that this isn't the best book that Cassandra Clare has written. This is like, I don't know, you definitely see her progress as a writer, because she gets so way better at writing books. Although this was a fantastic book, trust me, it was, to cling you onto that world, but it's not a remarkable, it's not like a remarkably excellent book that she's written, because it's her first book. She was just writing fan fiction. It's her first go at writing a series, a novel, whatever, and honestly, for a first timer, it's actually really good. But this is really good, but the other books are excellent. They get better each time. And oh my god, book 6 is coming out, and I'm so excited, and I'm not even finished with the books that are out yet. I have 2 more books to read, which I will. I'm planning to finish both the Infernal Devices and the Mortal Instruments before book 6 comes out. So fingers crossed for that. But that's the first book. Honestly, that's all I can say, because it's a very vague kind of thing. It's very simple. It happens so fast. As you can tell, it's quite thin as well. It's the second thinnest, second smallest book, I think, or third. I don't know. But anyway, this book, it's just, she gets introduced to the world. The reader as a whole gets introduced to the world of shadow hunting and everything. So I feel like it's just an introduction thing, and nothing really major happens in here. Actually, major is the thing that her mom gets kidnapped, and she gets her mom, and she's in the hospital now, blah blah blah. She gives the mortal cup to Valentine. She doesn't give, but he takes it. And yeah, so the only stupid thing, I guess, was the stupid acts that the characters made throughout this book. There are many, but the one major one at the beginning was that Jace mocked her without even knowing for sure that if she's a shadow hunter or not. You could have killed her, Jace. You could have killed her. But anyway, but the movie was quite different from this. I love the movie because it kind of gave me a very nice idea of how the characters are like, because now all I do is picture them when I'm reading all the other books. It's been a long time I haven't read this book, but in my memory, Valentine takes the actual cup, but in the movie, Valentine takes the replica of the cup, and she has the actual cup in her pocket. Correct me if I'm wrong, because that's what I think happened. I don't know. This book, I read it a long time ago. At the beginning, before the summer holiday of 2013. Yeah, a long time ago. But yeah, right before the movie came out. 2 months before the movie came out, I read that book. I think it was during the summer holiday, I'm not sure. But anyway, the next book is City of Ashes. City of Ashes was a really nice welcoming back to the world, because after reading City of Bones, I didn't touch this book until 4 months. After 4 months, I took this book and I decided to continue reading the series, and I read this book. Honestly, I liked the book. I liked it because it was a continuation and a good welcoming. I liked the book at the time because not a lot happened, and I kind of lost some things from my head, so it kind of reintroduced the things back. It reintroduced where I stopped at. So it reintroduced me to where I stopped at, the point I stopped at, and also it gave me some new things as well. But if I was a reader that went from that book, straight from this book to this book, I would have thought not a lot of things happened in this book. I felt like more things could have happened in this book, and not a lot happened. A lot happened after, it was the last half of the book when a lot of things started to happen. The other half was just a simple, basic kind of thing. It didn't, I was looking for action. I was looking for that action-packed kind of thing, but it only happened in the last half of the book. The first half went so mellow for me. I don't know, is it just me or is it you guys? Did you find that this book was a bit mellow at the beginning, and then it went into that action-packed world? I don't know. Like, I don't know, is it just me, or I don't know, but yeah, a lot more could have happened in this book, and but you do get introduced to the fact that Jace and Clary are different from normal Shadowhunters. They have angelic blood or whatnot, some experiment. I think you get introduced to the fact that they're an experiment or something, and Clary can create rooms, and she creates a room to kind of dismantle the whole ship that, you know, Valentine and all these Shadowhunters and people were fighting. And then also, if you didn't realize, that Jace and Clary found out that they were brothers and sisters, and they're in love with each other as well. And they found that out in the first book, and in the second book they're coping with the fact that they're in love with their sibling, and they have to stop that. And also, I knew before the ending came that Jace and Clary weren't brothers and sisters, and it was to do with something of the Herondale family. And I had something going on, you know, when Imogen dies and she realizes, she sees the star-shaped mark on Jace, and she realizes he is not Valentine's son. She was so close to saying it, and she dies, which is so annoying, because I really wanted them, like, I really want Jace and Clary together. Like, my friend doesn't really like Jace and Clary. She's more with I think she was more into Simon. I don't know, Simon, or is it Simon and Isabel, or Magnus and Alec? I don't know. I think it was Magnus and Alec that she was more into. And she said that she's gonna reread the series and see like what went wrong with her and Clary and Jace. But I honestly want them to be together. I think they're quite good together. I don't know, it's just me, or I don't know. But I think I think that they're quite good together, and they should be together. And the fact that I knew that they weren't brothers and sisters from like spoilers of my friends, thank you so much. But thank you, really. I really wanted them to be together, and I was like, when are they gonna find out that they're not siblings? And they do in the third book. But Imogen Herondale was so close to telling Jace that he is not brother, he's not Valentine's son, and Clary is not sister. And then she dies. She realizes, but she could have said it. She could have said that, you know, right before she died. She's like, you're not Valentine's son. When she realized that he's a Herondale, because he gets the mark, because Herondales get that star-shaped mark somewhere. I don't know, where it was, sorry. But yeah, and she saw it, and she didn't say anything, and she just dies. And she says, oh, your father would be so proud of you, instead of saying, your father is not Valentine, you idiot. Oh my god, like, your father's not Valentine. Like, that's the main thing that she could have said. And she said, oh, your father would be so proud of you. Like, woman, seriously, I was about to stab her myself. But anyway, that's what happened in City of Ashes. You know, Jace almost found out that he wasn't Valentine's son, but they didn't. They didn't completely defeat Valentine because he's still alive, but they did defeat Valentine in this book, like in just that place, because they didn't basically lose, but they didn't win either, because Valentine's still alive and he's still gonna continue with his like plan that sounds so right to him. Oh, and a most important thing that I forgot, one of the most important thing that I forgot, is that Alec and Magnus start liking each other. And yeah, so that's kind of a new thing. You get more of Magnus, and because Magnus is like an amazing character. He's like one of my favorite characters in the book. I feel like if he wasn't in this book or this series, the series would be dull, because he's really like comical. He's really funny, and I like him in the series, I think. And he's also in Infernal Devices. Oh my god! And he was so beautiful. Like, I think they did justice choosing. I think that they chose the perfect Magnus Bane. Oh my god, it was so beautiful in the movie. I was just like, Magnus Bane, baby. But yeah, that's yeah. So anyway, you find out that Magnus Bane and Alec both like each other, and also Simon Clary's best friend, mundane best friend, gets bitten by vampires, and Raphael brings him and he turns into a vampire, but a special vampire indeed, because he becomes a daylighter, a vampire that can walk in the sun. But he isn't a daylighter here, he's a normal vampire, sun burns him like normal. But when we move on to this book, you find out it's thicker than City of Bones and City of Ashes. It's really thick. I don't know if you can tell, like, I don't know, but this is a really thick book. It's like 500 pages long. It took me 4 days to read this book because I had some other things to read, but oh my god, this book was like the tie-up of everything. They find out they're not brothers or sisters, they kiss, they're like, oh, I was like so happy that they are not brothers and sisters, and Magnus and Alec get official and they become officially like a couple. But sad things are that Max dies. Max, the little brother, because you get introduced to him in the second book. He is Isabel's and Alex's little brother, and Jace's adoptive little brother, and he dies in the war. There's a big war. Valentine dies, if you didn't know. I told you to leave if you didn't want spoilers, but yeah, Valentine dies in this book. Jace dies, but then the angel Raziel brought him back alive because Clary wished for that one wish. She could have had anything, and it shows that they were truly in love. And like she brought Jace back, you know, Jace was alive. Simple as that. He comes back alive. A lot of things happen. Like there's a war. So many good and bad things. Like I can't remember at the top of my head. There's like little things. There's like huge things. Obviously, the huge thing is that Valentine dies. Clary and Jace end up together because they're not brothers or sisters. And Jace finds out Stefan Herondale is his father indeed, and he's actually Jace Herondale. And you meet the real Jonathan, the real son. Like Valentine had 2 sons, and you know, he kind of shared his time. His real son that Jocelyn gave birth to has demon blood in him, so he's very tough. And Jace has angelic blood in him, just like Clary. And so basically, you know, Jace wasn't tough enough for Valentine, so he kind of gave him up to the Lightwoods. Anyway, you meet Valentine's real son, and he gets killed, although he is a better warrior than Jace. Jace had a hard time killing Valentine's real son, the real Jonathan. He comes as Sebastian, so yeah, the Penhallow's cousin. But you know, really, the Penhallow's cousin, I think he's dead. But Sebastian, he ends up being killed. But when they search for his body in the river, where it ended up falling, his body's not there. So I'm thinking Jonathan is still alive. So yeah, because I think he's still alive, and I think he comes back in City of Fallen Angels. Don't tell me in the comments, don't ruin it for me, because I haven't read that book. But anyway, a lot of things happen in this book. Good, bad, just a mixture of everything. And definitely check this book out. And when I finished reading this, I was just like, whoa, like something just hit me. Like, oh my god. So obviously out of 3, the best one was the third one, because a lot more happened than, yeah, so a lot more happened in this book, so I like that the best. And I haven't read City of Fallen Angels or City of Lost Souls, so I don't know what happens afterwards. So I am gonna read that in a publication order. So I'm gonna do like the first book of Infernal Devices, then the 4th book of Mortal Instruments, and then 2nd book of Infernal Devices, and then the last book of Mortal Instruments that is out right now, and then the 3rd book of Infernal Devices, and then the 6th book, which comes out 21st of May, somewhere around May. I saw in her website it was like 103 days from today, So I'm just like, oh, like, yeah, it's a long time, but yes, I will be able to, I think I'll be able to finish all these books in 100 and somewhat days. So anyway, those are the 3 books and the review, non-spoiler bit and spoiler bit. I discussed the book and what I thought about it. If your opinions are the same as mine, then like this video. But if it isn't, then still like the video, because come on, if you like this video and you like me talking about it, still like this video. But tell me what you thought of those books if your opinion was somewhat different to mine. I recommend anyone to read this book. I love this book. It's so amazing, and I think many other people would love it too. And like, I understand why people love it, because it's such an amazing book. And anyway, that is the review of these 3 books, and I'm off because I'm tired as hell. So I will see you guys next time, and maybe with another book review, because I'm loving this book review thing. But yeah, I'm on my way to finishing Infernal Devices. I will do a review. If you want a review of this book, then comment down below, just by itself, because I will be able to finish this in about a few days, yeah. So anyway, I will see you guys next time. If you like this video, like it down below. If you have anything else, any opinions of your own about these 3 books, then comment it down below. Any other suggestions you want, comment it down below as well. And also subscribe above if you want updates on when I upload my next videos. And yeah. Oh, and if you liked this video and you have friends that are interested in these books, then share this video as well. That would do me a lot of favor, trust me. And that is all for today's video, and I will see you guys next time. Bye bye, and whoosh.